Boom, it finally happened, the moment nobody in women's college basketball thought they would witness this early in the season. South Carolina, the juggernaut, the blueprint, the team everyone believed was simply too dominant to be shaken, just got punched in the mouth by number 4 Texas. And what Don Staley said after the game, oh, it didn't just make headlines, it lit the entire basketball world on fire. Some fans say she was brutally honest, others say she should have toned it down, and then there are those who think she delivered the most powerful message of the season. But before we dig into every sharp quote, every emotional reaction, and everything Texas exposed tonight, make sure you hit like, because this one is going to get real spicy real fast. Tell me in the comments, was this just a wake-up call, or is there something deeper happening inside South Carolina's locker room? If you love breakdowns, honest analysis, and stories the mainstream networks don't have the guts to touch, subscribe and turn on notifications. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around. Now buckle up, because Dawn Staley's post-game message didn't just surprise people, it sent shockwaves across the sport. Texas came out swinging. From the opening tip, Texas controlled everything: the tempo, the physicality, the emotional tone of the game. South Carolina looked a step slow, a beat behind, late on rotations, late on closeouts. Meanwhile, Texas played like a team possessed. They cut hard, fought for rebounds like their scholarships depended on it, dove on the floor for every loose ball. A single possession with 3 offensive rebounds made Dawn Staley fold her arms and give that legendary "don't make me stop this whole game" look. Every Gamecock fan knows that look, and every player felt it. But Texas wasn't done. They kept piling it on: block shots, fast break points, momentum swings that made the whole arena gasp. South Carolina had flashes of rhythm, moments where they looked like the powerhouse they are, but every time they built momentum, Texas smacked it right back out of their hands. By the fourth quarter, the Gamecocks weren't just outplayed, they were emotionally drained. When the buzzer sounded, the silence in the arena said everything. The locker room was heavy. When players walked inside, nobody had the energy to speak. A freshman hid her tears under a towel. A veteran sat motionless, reliving every mistake. Another slammed her fist into her knee, furious with herself. This wasn't a team angry at each other. This was a team disappointed in themselves. Those are the losses that sting the most. Then Dawn Staley walked in. No yelling, no packing, no finger pointing. Quiet, controlled, intense. She stood in the center of the locker room, let the silence air out the wound, and said, "This is what it feels like when someone wants it more than you." Some players froze, others bowed their heads even lower. Then she delivered the line that later shook the internet. "If this loss doesn't change you, you're in the wrong program." Within minutes, those words leaked online, and social media detonated. The post-game presser, raw and unfiltered. Reporters expected excuses: maybe youth, maybe inexperience, maybe fatigue. But Dawn Staley wasn't giving anyone a soft landing tonight. She pulled the mic close and said, "We got outplayed, we got outworked, we got out-toughed." Phones went up instantly. That quote spread like wildfire. No sugarcoating, no protecting egos. Then she added, "If we looked like that, I didn't prepare them well enough." Fans were stunned, some called it too harsh, others praised the honesty. But everyone agreed Dawn Staley was sending a message deeper than the scoreboard. Then came the viral moment. A reporter asked if the loss exposed weaknesses for South Carolina. Staley leaned forward, stared into the cameras, and said, "Write this down, we're still the team to beat." And that clip instantly viral. Texas fans got nervous, rivals took notice, analysts paused mid-sentence. This wasn't ego, this was intent. The reset begins. Back in the locker room after the conference, the vibe shifted. Players were rewatching plays, talking, fixing mistakes among themselves. It wasn't finger-pointing, it was accountability. A team leader walked up to Staley and said, "We won't let this happen again." Staley simply replied, "Show me tomorrow." And that's when everything changed: the turning point, the reset, the spark that separates champions from pretenders. The internet reaction. Fans went wild. "This loss might save our season." Dawn keeping it real. "Texas exposed us, but we needed this." This is why South Carolina always bounces back. Former players jumped in, saying this is exactly how Staley builds teams that come back stronger after every setback. Because this wasn't a broken team. This was a shaken team. And shaken teams can become extremely dangerous. The loss that might change everything. Losses like this don't come often. Losses that cut deep. Losses that expose weaknesses. Losses that force an entire program to look in the mirror. These are the losses that define seasons. These are the losses that build champions. Dawn Staley didn't avoid the truth, she didn't downplay the defeat, she embraced it and turned it into fuel. She said it best. Losing isn't the problem, not learning from the loss is the problem. And trust me, South Carolina is going to learn. The entire country felt the shift. Analysts heard it in every quote. Texas felt it the moment she said, "We're still the team to beat." The real story now isn't about the loss. It's about what South Carolina does next. Because if history tells us anything, Dawn Staley teams don't stay down. They reload, they refocus, and then they strike back harder. Final call to action. If you've stayed with this breakdown all the way through, drop a comment. Does South Carolina bounce back? Does Texas start climbing the rankings even faster? Did Dawn Staley say exactly what needed to be said? Or did she surprise you like she surprised the whole country? Hit like if you felt the passion in this story. Subscribe for more deep dives. Turn on notifications so you never miss moments like this. The season is heating up, rivalries are building, the road to March just got way more unpredictable. And trust me, the next chapter of this story is going to be wild.